All right, Phil, this is extremely interesting. You and I have talked about the viral load level from the very beginning as it pertains to how contagious the virus might be, whether you're symptomatic, asymptomatic. But what do you make of this as it pertains to positive tests? Because the important part here is positive tests equal what all of our public health officials are calling cases. And we're basing public policy not on deaths, not on hospitalizations, not on ventilator use or ICU beds, but on the cases, which are the positive tests.
Right. The rest of the world, when they use the word case, they're referring to someone who's actually sick. We know for a fact that China will not even test somebody who's asymptomatic, and if they do, for some reason, it will not be considered a case in the absence of symptoms, and that's been their definition since at least early June. Europe also does not recommend, under most circumstances, testing people who are asymptomatic. If they do get someone who's asymptomatic, they will not consider it a positive test unless it's under 35 amplification cycles. In the US right now, and what's remarkable is not that we didn't know this, what's remarkable is that the New York Times reported it, and they actually broke a new aspect of the story which we didn't know, which is just how common these sort of trivial or false positives are. Many labs in the US are going up to 37 or even 40 amplification cycles and calling that a positive. That is a really bad practice that no one else in the world is doing. At 40 amplification cycles, you get old, dead viral fragments from infections from months ago that will show as positive, despite the fact that person is in no way presently sick, contagious, or in any way presently a case of the illness. And they put this in context. They looked at 3 states. They actually got data from Nevada, New York, and Massachusetts, and they found that 85 to 90% of the so-called cases in those states are these false positives that are not contagious, do not have live cultivation-capable virus. So obviously when states are really going through the peak of the epidemic, they have a lot of active infections. This is much less of an issue. But the point here is that as states get out of that and they get into the tail and there's not a lot of active sickness around, the positive results become almost completely meaningless if you're testing asymptomatic people.